Welcome to Unhinged with A&M.
Hi, my name's Ariana.
And my name's Miranda.
Welcome to our first episode. I know, guys, calm down over there. Okay.
So, Ari, what is our first topic for our first episode?
We're going to talk about our narcissistic exes.
Whoa.
I know. What a banger to come out with in episode 1. But, we've all had them.
Mm-hmm.
And for Miranda and I, it was our first relationship,
Mm-hmm.
my first serious relationship, I guess. I don't count high school sweethearts or anything.
It was my first relationship, so I didn't really have any boyfriends or dated anyone until we started dating my senior year of high school. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only was it my first serious relationship, but it was also my actual first relationship.
See, mine's a little bit different. I had side relationships in
Mhm.
high school, but this was me first sophomore year of college
Mhm.
and actual full on dating, meeting the parents,
Mhm.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I had my crushes when I was in high school, don't get me wrong, and there was this other guy in high school that was super complicated. Well, I mean, it wasn't super complicated. It was we liked each other, but we never
Made anything of it.
made anything of it. That can be another story for another day. But yeah, my first experience with a relationship was my narcissistic ex.
Yep. So this is why it's the topic of the episode. Okay, so do we name drop?
Probably not.
Okay, I'm gonna use initials.
Yeah.
Okay, so my narcissistic was AW.
Mine was JB.
JB.
Mm-hmm.
So AW, so him and I met through a mutual friend,
Mhm.
So it was oh my gosh, he's, he looks like he would be your type. And I was all there for it. And so we went on a date. It was the good times,
Mhm.
So we went on a first date to a Mexican restaurant and he over-tipped by $50.
Oh my God.
He was really trying to make an impression. I was oh my God, a guy over-tipping the underpaid worker, that's so hot.
Wait, how old were you guys?
I was sophomore year, so I was 19, 20.
So this was college.
College.
Okay.
Yeah, sophomore year of college. And so he did that, and I was wow, what a handsome, hot man. But I went home and I was he's kind of not that attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But I was he's nice. I've never dated anyone besides this guy. So yeah, 100%. Let's go.
Yeah.
How'd your first relationship start?
Okay, so he was the new kid at school, my junior year of high school.
Oh,
and
an anime intro,
and
new
so,
kid.
So he had moved. He was military family, so they had moved around from state to state, and he just moved to our small town in Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
New kid, and honestly, I did not like him at first. So most people didn't like him at first. We sat with the same table in our English class, and I did not like him. But then I got to know him a little bit more, and I don't know what happened, but then I started to have feelings for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started talking the beginning of our senior year of high school. And then we started dating in February, our senior year of high school.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we were actually with each other for a little over 2 years.
That seems to be the theme of us too. Of it's that 2-year mark. You can't get past that.
So we graduated high school, and it wasn't intentional, but we ended up both going to UNC together.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't mean to go. That was never the plan for us to go to the same school. That's how it ended up working out. And then we also accidentally ended up living in the same dorm, which also wasn't intentional, but it was oh, yay, fate. We're always going to
Be together.
be together. But then he actually ended up flunking out of college.
Oh.
Which I can go into more of that later because that's part of the whole mess as to why like we didn't work out. But you know, he had military parents, and so they had moved from Colorado to Texas. And so when he flunked out of college, he moved to Texas where his parents were, and we actually were long distance for the majority of our relationship. So we were together for a little over 2 years, but we were actually only together for maybe a year of our actual relationship.
Yeah, that was definitely different from mine. Like, we got together and we were just like dating like you do for like 4 months. And then he ran into a situation of like he was automatically like kicked out of his place because the people there thought something nefarious was going on. And I was like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. I'm trying to help him out. Like, he's my boyfriend at the time. So I was like, hey, move in with me. And so 4 months in, we move in together, like full on. And like, it's crazy. It's wild. And like, but being with him, like, and having that constant, like, ability to be near him, it was difficult. Like, the dates were great. The fun times were amazing. But he was also, like, a gamer. So if he shut in and started gaming, nothing else mattered.
Yep. My ex, so JB, was also a gamer. League of Legends was his game of choice. The amount of times that he would choose to play League of Legends rather than hanging out with me. So, okay, first official story.
Okay.
So freshman year of college, I get a phone call with some really bad news about a family member. And I'm like devastated. I'm in his dorm room. I'm sitting on his bed, just got off the phone, and I am sobbing. I am crying. He is at his desk playing League of Legends.
Oh, my God.
And oh my God. So I'm like sitting there crying and I don't say anything first. I let him finish his little game. And I'm like, once he's done with his game, naturally he'll come over and sit with me. I mean, he should have probably turned off the game in the middle of it, but I wasn't gonna tell him to come over and sit with me
because you were trying to also like be
there. I
I
was gonna let him finish his game.
It's fine.
And I'm sitting there crying and I watch his game end. And then immediately he hits start new game.
Oh, motherfucker.
And I'm just sitting right there and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, hi, I'm over here crying because I just got really bad news about a family member.
And he's too wrapped up in his own freaking ass game.
This guy gets mad at me. He slams his laptop closed, all annoyed. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to like make you upset or mad at me.
Oh my God.
I could really use some comfort. So he like slams his laptop shut. He sits there for a moment and then he comes over and comforts me.
Wow.
Yep.
Like your emotions were so inconvenient to the rest of his gaming life.
How dare me be sad that insane. So
insane.
But I apologized to him, being like, I'm sorry to interrupt your game. I'm sorry to inconvenience you with my emotions and needing my boyfriend to come, like, give me a hug and comfort me and tell me that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Like, why do guys, like, feel... Or, like, I don't know if they even understand, like, why that's so inappropriate, you know?
Right?
Like, okay, it's honestly, at this point in my life, like, this relationship was, like, nearly a decade ago now. And it still lingers with me. And, like, all I can remember is, like, a majority of the bad things, you know? And one of the, like, this should have been a red flag moment was at my cousin's graduation from college party. And I was like, you know, this is going to be great. We drove down from Colorado Springs because I was living in Colorado Springs at the time, and we drove down to Denver. And I was like, this is going to be great. And so we go up. I'm like, hey, let's dance. He doesn't want to dance with me.
Of course not.
I'm like, come on, like, I want to dance. Like, it's my family. It's a fun time. Come dance with me. No. My aunt, she goes up to him, and she's like, you're not going to get any of the food if you don't dance with her. And
Damn.
then he danced with me.
Of course.
Because apparently the only way to speak to him is through his stomach.
Of course.
My actual person and needs are, like, secondary.
Yeah.
He cared more about my family's food than he did about dancing with me or, like, caring about me. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Whatever. So, like, I dropped it in the moment. I probably shouldn't have. But
Yeah.
I'm also, like, that very forthcoming person in relationships. Like, this is how you made me feel in that moment. I don't appreciate why you did that. Like, what was going through your head?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was in the mood.
Okay.
Like, we drove down to Colorado Springs to Denver for my cousin's party, and you weren't in the mood.
See, I feel like that was always a big theme, and probably you felt this too in your relationship with your narcissistic ex, is that when it came to arguments, like, I don't know about you, but I would, like, get upset about something that he would do to me that genuinely made me upset, and I was in my right to be upset, but I was always the one apologizing to him in the end. Be like, I'm sorry for being mad, because one thing that he would always do is he would do something that would upset me, and I would call him out on that shit. I'd be like, hey, what you're doing is, like, really not nice to me, and it's hurting my feelings. And then he would shut down. Like, I'm saying he would just, like, sit there.
And take it?
No, he would just sit there. He wouldn't say a word. Like, I would be
Wow.
sitting there. This is so embarrassing. But I would be sitting there, and I'd be like, just talk to me. Like, begging this man. Not man. Boy. So, like.
Exactly. These are boys.
To say something, anything. And then he would be like, oh, well, okay, I guess I'll just never make a joke again. Like, he would say shit like that. Like, if he made a joke that upset me, he'd be like, oh, well, I guess I just will never talk again. Oh, I guess I'll just never make a joke again. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? And then he would just, like, sit there, not say anything. And I'd be begging this boy to speak to me, to communicate so that we can, like, resolve our issues. And then I would be the one apologizing, be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I made you upset.
Wow.
I'm so sorry that, like, what you said upset me. Like,
I'm sorry that, like, my feelings are valid, but also, like, apparently yours are.
Yeah.
Like, it both could be true. They're not mutually exclusive to one another, you know?
Right.
Like, my ex, I don't know why he felt the need to do this. Like, so I'm very, like, self-conscious about my body, you know? So, like, I pull and tug about, like, you know, just different parts of my body. And I'm like, I don't like this. Well, I don't know why, but he had the need to, like, scoop my boobs. Like, and be like, woof, I'm scooping. And I'm like, don't do that.
Oh my God.
And he would think it was the funniest shit. And I'm like, no.
Oh my
like,
God.
This makes me uncomfortable. I'm not, like, this isn't okay. And I would tell him, I'm like, please don't do this. And then he's like, why not? And I'm like, do I have to describe why I don't feel comfortable with you, like, literally making, like, fun bags, you know? Like, oh, look at these fun bags. Like, no. What the hell's wrong with you? No. And, like, this boundary was, like, he didn't understand it. I'm like, this is insane. Like, how do you not understand? Don't scoop my boobs.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
what the hell, man? And I had so many, like, this boundaries didn't exist for this guy. I don't know if he understood because, so I'm an artist, so I have a lot of art supplies.
Right.
That includes stuff like an X-Acto knife to, like, carve stuff. This guy would pull out my X-Acto knife and clean his fingernails.
Ew.
And I would tell him, don't do that. Like, go get something to clean your fingernails. That's not my X-Acto knife. He wouldn't do it for, like, a week, and then the next week he would.
That is so gross.
I know.
They make special
tools
for that. If you need to clean your nails, go buy a freaking nail filer that has, like, the pick at the end. That's disgusting.
Exactly. And I, you know, didn't look at the red flags. Like,
yeah. No, my ex, he kind of similar thing with boundaries. Like, he just wouldn't tell me things, right? So we lived in the same dorm, and we had the same friend group, right?
Okay.
There were these boys that lived down the hall from his dorm room, and we would say goodnight to each other because we had classes the next day.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's late. We both have to be up early for classes. We're going to go to bed and we're going to go to sleep. And I thought that that's what he was doing every night, that he was going to bed.
Yeah.
And then there was one night, my roommate at the time, who I was sharing my dorm with, she told me, she was like, oh, I saw Jay out with friends late last night. And I'm like, what do you mean you saw him out? He told me he was
you
going
went to bed.
to bed. And that ended up being an argument between us where I ended up having to be like, oh, okay, it's not a big deal. But I thought he was going to bed. But really, he was staying up until like 1, 2, 3 in the morning with his friends. And I had no idea. And then there were times where like we would agree to meet up the next morning to go get like breakfast or to walk to classes together. And he would stay up so late, either out with his friends or video gaming, that I wouldn't be able to get him to wake up. Like I would be standing there knocking on his door, and he wouldn't hear it. I would like be calling, blowing up his phone. He wouldn't wake up to it. There were times where I would call the phone in his dorm room to wake him up because I'm like, this bitch, we had plans this morning. He needs to be awake. He has class later. Like, he needs to wake up. And the only way that I would get him to wake up sometimes if I called the landline phone in his dorm room.
My God.
And, like, there would be times where I would be standing at his dorm room for, like, 10, 15, 20 minutes sometimes, just banging on the door trying to get him to wake up. But he would not. And I don't know if it's because he, like, genuinely was that asleep and just didn't hear me, or if he was purposely, like, ignoring me.
But it's not your job. You're not a hotel, like, let me call and get the 5 a.m. wake-up call.
Yep.
Like, you were his girlfriend. Like, that is so... What the heck?
Like, the amount... Like, I look back at it now, and I'm like, the amount of things that I was like, oh, this is normal. This is relationships.
That you glossed over.
That I glossed over. Because, I mean, there were good stuff, ? They're genuinely like if I wasn't feeling good, he was usually there for me. And then like if I was having a bad time with a friend, he would be there for me, and like we would go on really good dates, and like we did spend a lot of time with each other, and we were part of the same friend group, and so it was easy to oversee a lot of that.
From all the negatives.
And then I think also just us being long distance for as long as we were, it's like it was even easier to ignore all the negative because it wasn't sitting there right in front of my face all day, every day. The long distance was hard though because, and again, I just said, I was like, it was easier to ignore the bad things, but there was a lot of bad when we were long distance too.
Yeah.
Like, we would be texting each other, and there would be some days where I would not hear from him for, like, 3-4 days at a time. And I would be like, are you mad at me? Like, why aren't you talking to me? And he would eventually text me back and be like, oh, yeah, I was ignoring you. I don't know why, though.
I don't know.
I was just ignoring you. And I'm like,
the hell, man?
Well, don't do that. Like, why are you ignoring me? And I still didn't break up with him because he would always have some kind of excuse that would like skew in my mind and be like, okay, yeah, whatever, that's fair, fine. Yeah. I'm sorry for being upset that you ignored me. And it always came down to that, like, I'm sorry that I'm the one that was upset.
Yeah. And I think the problem is like you always, in those moments, you do hone in like on the good times. Like, so like I said at the beginning, it's hard for me to remember the good, but there was good. Like, there was times, like, he would genuinely, like, make me laugh my ass off. Yeah. Like, and, like, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, the sexual tension I had with him is more than I've felt with any other person so far. And, like, that's why it's so hard to find someone else. Like, just because we built up to something so good and then it was cut off and that I haven't been able to find it since.
Okay.
And, like, that was fun. But also, like, he knew, like, it was the very beginning of the relationship, and I, like, this is what made me fall for him, was he was, like, spending the night, and it was just us sleeping next to each other, but in the middle of the night, at, like, 2 a.m, like, I would kind of, like, turn and get up, like, wake up a little bit, but in that turn, he would turn around and subconsciously kiss me.
Oh,
And like that was so damn sweet. And I
that
think
is sweet.
that is why like I'm like his subconscious was like, kiss her.
You're able to like justify all the bad because you're like, oh, but he does this thing and it's really sweet, so therefore he does love me,
Yeah.
you know? And yeah, I feel that.
But like, you know, it doesn't justify all the actions either.
Right.
So, you know, the friendship thing, I don't know how narcissistic exes have these solid friend groups that could back them up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how are you guys not seeing this? Why are you backing this douchehead up? You know, like
Yeah.
this makes no sense. So, and during the time of COVID, you know, so everyone's locked down, no one's going anywhere. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to hang out with my friends because I need to get out. And I'm like, totally understand. I have been there too. So he goes out and hangs out with his friends, and he comes back and he's like, I want to break up.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, what conversation did you have with your friends that made you want to break up with me? And so I'm like over here like crying.
Yeah.
And then my family's trying to call me for a video call because they apparently discovered video calls at that moment. And I'm just like over here having a time. And I'm like, I still love you. Like, why are you doing this to me? And he was like, well, I still love you too. And I'm like, then let's work it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then the second time he hung out with friends, same results, which I'll get into later. But I'm like, what are your friends telling you about me that convinces you that we're not good? Like, what's going on?
See, it's really funny that you say that because Jay and I, we had the same friend group, right?
Yeah.
And even when we were long distance, like he stayed in touch with me and all of our friends. And I had one friend. I'll name drop him. It's Zach. Okay, he died. But more on that later. But like Zach would always tell me all the time and be like, "Hey, you and Jay, like, why are you guys still together? Like, you should break up with him. Make him teach him a lesson. Make him see what he's missing." Like he would constantly tell me to break up with Jay. And I remember there was one time Jay came to visit sophomore year of college. He came to visit me and all of our friends. And we got into an argument. Shocking, I know.
I know.
We got into an argument in front of our friends. Like we were playing games in the dorm room's like lounge with two of our other friends, and we got into an argument, and I got annoyed, so because he wasn't talking to me, so I got up and I went to my room, and he eventually followed. But then one of our friends, he was talking to me about it later, and he was like, I think I know what your guys' biggest problem is. And I'm like, enlighten me. He was like, you guys don't talk to each other. You don't communicate. And I was like, no fucking duh. I could have told you that. I'm like, I tried to talk to him, but he refuses to talk back to me.
And he shuts down.
We didn't, like, he did come back to my dorm room, and we did end up talking it out. And things in the end ended up being okay. And then fast forward to the day that it was his last day there, and we were all hanging out in the guy's room because all of my friends and I, we lived in the same dorm building. So we were all hanging out in their room because that was like the hangout spot because they had the PlayStation, they had all the video games, and we were playing games together. And I started getting really, really sad that Jay was getting ready to leave again because I mean, he's my boyfriend. I didn't want him to leave.
And you loved him.
I loved him.
That's
Exactly.
to be expected.
And at that point, we had been together for almost 2 full years. So yeah, I wanted to spend time with my boyfriend, and I was getting really sad. And some of my friends, like this friend group was also like extremely toxic, and that can be, again, another topic for another day. But they were kind of being like really unkind to me about the fact that I was sad and that Jay was getting ready to leave. So I got like upset with everyone, and I kind of started to cry, and I was like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to my room. I did not ask Jay to follow me.
Yeah.
I was like, he can stay there, whatever. I'm going to go calm myself down. I went back to my room. He did follow me. Like he came on his own, and that's one of the good things. I'm like, he chose me on his own to come comfort me because I was upset
Ugh.
and I was going to miss him.
The one silver lining. You're like, this is why it works out. And you're
Right.
like, oh my
Well,
God.
but then all of the guys, they got annoyed with me because they thought I made him
Wow.
come to my room with me. They're like, it's our last day with him too. Why are you taking him away? Why are you making him go just spend time with you? And I was like, well, first of all, he's my boyfriend and it's his last day. So yeah, I'm going to want to spend time with my boyfriend. And I sure as hell
Yeah.
hope that he's going to want to spend his last day in town with his girlfriend, not just with his friends. And I was like, second of all, I did not ask him to follow me. Okay, I'm like, yeah.
That's
You
a lot
know,
of assumptions on their part.
I'm like, we have issues. Clearly, you guys see them all. But like,
you guys don't
I'm
talk.
like, but like, we love each other. See how much he loves me. He chose me over you guys. So, yeah, it's just things like that is like justified why I stayed with him for as long as I did. Because it's like he chose me over his friends when he didn't do that in the past, right? Because he would constantly choose his friends over me. He would choose League of Legends over me.
Yeah.
So,
Destiny 2 over me. Like, oh my God. But like, just the perception of others and how you want to be perceived as too. Like, so this has been like, you brought the friendship thing up and I was like, okay, I need to say this. So legitimately this guy, AW, would, say, oh yeah, we do all kinds of stuff together. I'm like, no, we don't. You like to stay home all the time. Yeah. I like to do stuff. Like, he was like, oh yeah, we went to the Garden of the Gods. And I'm like, we drove around the Garden of the Gods. We didn't actually get out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then we went to Manitou Springs. And I'm like, one time because I forced you to.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, don't be spreading these lies that we do all this stuff when you like to sit your ass home all the time. And I like to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know me, like, years past this relationship.
Yeah.
Me and you do stuff, like, all the dang time. Like,
yeah.
I don't think we ever had, like, a solid day of, like, okay, Miranda, we're going to go to this store and then this store and then that's it.
Yeah.
It's like we just like, okay, we're going to go this store. Oh, what about this store?
Yeah.
Oh, what about, oh, let's go visit our friends at the store. Like, it's always something. And we're never at one place at one time.
Right.
But like this guy couldn't wrap his head around. Sometimes I like just to exist outside of my home.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Like, I'm sorry that was a bizarre idea. Like,
what a wild concept.
What a wild concept. And I'm like, what? Okay, fine. But, like, this guy, he, and that skews your perception on what you want to be and how you want to live your life, too.
Yeah.
You're like, because he's home at all time, like, and you're like, oh, he looks happy. He looks fine. Maybe I could find some solace in doing the exact same thing. But in actuality, you're like, I'm going stir crazy. I need to do something.
Yeah.
What am I doing with my life? And so, and being with him, like, I slowly started to be like, okay, well, this isn't me. This isn't someone I wanted to be. Like, I always want to look at myself from 5 years prior and say, did I grow to be someone I admire now?
Yeah.
And with him, no. Just no. Like, and I'm like, I don't know what else to say about that. Like,
yeah.
And then the arguments.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, like it's the little mini arguments, but like the big arguments.
Big ones.
Like, okay. For also context, my ex was a Mormon.
Okay, that I went to high school with a bunch of Mormons. Like nothing against Mormons, but continue.
But it puts a perspective on things so I went into the relationship like, oh, like I don't care if you're of a different religion. Like I'll be a part of your religion. I want to be a part of you no matter what. So teach me your ways. Like I didn't have an opinion at the time.
I'm so different from that.
Yeah. Well, so I went in and like he didn't really practice.
Okay.
Actively, and so which is why we ended up sleeping together. Cause
was it like he grew up in a Mormon household but didn't practice when he got older? Because a lot of my friends who were Mormon in high school were only that because
it was what you were around
it's
by.
what they were. It's how they grew up. But
Yeah.
then a lot of them like didn't necessarily leave the Mormon church entirely. But some of them did like be like, oh, I am just a different form of Christianity now, or I'm Mormon, but I don't practice. Like, okay, yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So he went to Colorado for his mission.
Okay.
And so that was the reason he was in Colorado to begin with. And he was like, okay, well, we'll take you to different places. I'm going to show you my Mormon religion. I'm like, this is cool. But then slowly, I was like, this is weird. This makes me uncomfy. Because so we started going to church and we had other young kids on their mission to teach me about the Mormon religion. And I was like, cool, whatever. Teach me what you need.
Yeah.
And this girl, oh God, I hope she's doing well now.
Oh
no. Because she was like, oh yeah, like growing up, I used to pluck out my eyebrows because I was anxious. And I was like,
Oh my God.
that hurts.
Ow.
And she was like, well, at the time, my parents said it was because God made me addicted, or I was addicted to it, and I was doing it wrong by God by being addicted.
She was addicted to plucking out her eyebrows.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was sinning because
she was
plucking out her eyebrows because she was addicted to it.
Eyebrows. That is bizarre.
And then she like went to therapy or something, and they're like, no, you have anxiety. And all of a sudden, I'm not addicted to plucking out my eyebrows. God doesn't hate me. And her parents would tell her this, that God hated her.
Oh my God.
For plucking out her eyebrows. And then when they find out it was anxiety, they're like, oh, he actually doesn't hate you.
That is wild. Complete tangent. But I had a friend from like, it was the most toxic friend I ever had. And she can be her own big story someday, but like she wasn't Mormon, but she came from a big Christian household, and she had a lot of trauma. Like her parents, oh my God, the trauma that this girl had because of them was insane. And she got diagnosed at the doctor with extreme depression and anxiety disorders.
Dang.
And they were like, we are going to put you on medication, but her parents were like, no, you're not going to put her on medication.
No.
And they told her, like, if you just pray hard enough to
my
God, you will feel better. Like if you if
you believe in hard enough, it'll make all the badness go away.
You are depressed and anxious all the time, and you want to unalive yourself because you don't pray enough.
You don't pray enough. That's why you want to. Oh my God.
It's so like I grew up in an atheist household, and so I feel like I am at. I don't know if advantage is the correct word to use, but I feel like I'm at an advantage of looking at things from a non-religious perspective. And we can tie this back to my ex. His dad was also in school to become a pastor. So, like, his parents hated me because I was not religious.
Yeah.
And, like, Jay, he himself wasn't super religious or anything, but I know that was one of the biggest issues that his parents had with me was that I wasn't a religious person. And, when I was at that age, I was very young. I was in high school. I was like, okay, maybe I'm open to the idea of religion, right? But now that I'm older, I feel like one of my things is like, you can be religious, but don't necessarily expect me to follow that. Yeah. I'm like, you can be religious, but I'm very firm. Like, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a full atheist. Like, I'm still very
like spiritual.
I'm still very spiritual, but not in like the godly Christianity like kind of way. So I think
maybe we need to do a topic on religion.
We might need to, because I feel like that would be.
I feel like I have a lot to say about it.
Yeah. Tangents, always, all the tangents. But yeah, so I feel like that's one of my expectations now. I'm like, you can be religious, but don't expect me to like go to church with you.
Yeah. Well, so I went to church with this guy.
Okay.
And so, And there's so many things about the Mormon religion. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So we would have main church,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would do like individual sessions,
Mm-hmm.
but it was segregated with boys and girls. Girls couldn't go into the boys group, but guys could go into the girls group with permission.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, whatever. And, they go further into like, this is how you need to pray. And I would open up to them. I'm like, at the time, I never prayed out loud. Like I used to, like when I was super, super young. But I prefer to pray in my head. Like, is that okay? Like, if God is all knowing, as we believe, he should hear my thoughts in prayer. And that's what I believe. And they got so upset with me. They're like, you're supposed to pray out loud. What the hell is wrong with you, pretty much?
God.
And I'm like, I didn't know.
So they were supposed to hear what you were praying about?
General, like, prayer.
Just
like,
general prayer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, if I was at home praying, like, I needed to say it out loud.
Are you going to, like, air all of your business that you have with God out loud to a room full of people you don't know?
Right.
Okay, general prayer.
Prayer.
That makes more sense.
And so, like, I was like, okay, I'll try, to be placid and, try to do right by you guys.
Yeah.
But then it kept on adding up, man.
Oh, no.
I'm not kidding to you, man. Like, we fought for a week about this. And I say this is the pinnacle of what broke the camel's back in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the Mormon religion, you're not supposed to consume hot items like hot tea, coffee, foods.
I thought it was just caffeinated items.
No, all hot. So like soups, no.
That's so
Bad.
Weird.
Hot chocolate, you're teetering on the edge.
Okay, because my experience with my friends, because one of my best friends in high school was Mormon, and it was just, it couldn't be caffeinated, but they could eat like soup.
Maybe this was a different branch of Mormonism. I don't know.
Okay, interesting. Continue.
Yeah, so couldn't consume anything hot, and I was like, when they introduced it, like, don't smoke, don't drink. I'm like, I don't do any of that. So anyways,
right.
And then they're like, don't masturbate, and I'm like, how would you know? Like, and then they were like, and no hot
God
liquids,
would know.
And I was like, what define hot liquids? And you know me, I drink coffee all the time, and I'm like,
yeah, same.
And I'm like, okay, so like coffee's fine though, right? No, coffee's an addiction.
Yep, caffeine.
I'm like, that makes no sense. And I was like, okay. And I would try to like explain to AW, I'm like, coffee is more than just a drink for me. It's a form of bonding with me and my family.
Yeah.
Like, I have fond memories of like growing up and sitting down with my cup of hot cocoa and my grandparents with their coffee in hand, and we're all enjoying our morning together. Like, it was like a very ritualistic, warm feeling, and I wanted to drink coffee because I wanted to be included in that adult, ritualistic, loving feeling,
Yeah.
So I taught myself to love coffee because I wanted to be a part of the collective.
So feel that. One of mine and my mom's rituals, like, I would get home from school and she would brew a pot of coffee and we would sit on the couch and watch our little Lifetime movies in the evening until my dad got home with our cups of coffee. Like, yes, caffeine is an addiction, and I am definitely guilty of being addicted to caffeine. But, I mean, there's worse things that you could be addicted to.
I'm not on drugs.
I'm not doing drugs. I'm not out here making really bad decisions. I'm drinking coffee because it brings me peace and happiness.
Yeah. And so I tried to explain this to him. We fought for a week.
Because of coffee.
Because of coffee. Of why I couldn't drink my goddamn cup of coffee. And by the end, the reason that argument ended, and there was no apologies after, was I brought up, I'm like, hey, so-and-so in your religion drinks coffee too, don't they? Oh, yeah, then it's fine.
So, was it really that his religion was telling you couldn't drink coffee, or was it him telling you that you couldn't drink coffee?
It was probably him.
Because okay, Coffee, I guess it was a big no-no. Because it's the caffeine that
Yeah.
the Mormons can't drink. Because I remember that being a big thing with my Mormon friend is that, like, if they had sodas at birthday parties, it had to be, like, root beer or Sprite because those were caffeine-free. You never, like, found, like, a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola at a Mormon's birthday party
Okay.
when I was in high school. It was always, like, root beer, Sprite. They would drink hot chocolate all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, the coffee part is probably, like, you probably could have gotten away with decaf coffee.
I don't know,
Maybe.
man.
I don't know. But, like, that definitely sounds more like him being like, oh, I don't like coffee, so therefore you're not allowed to drink coffee.
Yeah.
And that's, like, I feel like a very narcissistic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very controlling.
Very controlling.
Okay. Are you ready to hear how it all ended?
Oh, gosh. Yep. I'm ready to hear yours, and then I'll share mine with you.
Okay. So it was a series of events.
Yeah.
So it was the end of, Christmas and into the New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
And New Year's was really like, okay, this isn't going how I thought it would be. Was, the ball dropped and everybody's like, yeah, celebrate.
Mhm.
Everyone's hugging each other. Usually you hug your spouse first, hug or kiss.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Oh, no.
He went to my mom.
You went to your
My dad.
mom?
And I was dead last on the people he said Happy New Year's to.
Oh, my God. That's wild that he went to your mom first.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, like, I broke down and I was like, why'd you do that? And he
Yeah.
was like, I didn't really think about it. And I'm like, clearly you don't think about anything.
Think about it?
if that's the case.
Crazy.
And I'm like, whatever. We go home. And this is the year that my great grandpa, like, is on his deathbed. He's in hospice care. Like, it's really bad. And my great grandpa, he was like the head of the family, you know, like someone I respected and loved. And he was like the glue that kept us all together, you know? So him dying and being on his deathbed was like, my whole world is falling apart. Like, I am devastated. And so I get a phone call from my mom. Hey, great grandpa, he's in hospice right now. And AW comes home. I'm bawling my eyes out, you know, because I'm devastated. And you know what he says as soon as he walks into the door? What are you upset about now?
Oh, my God.
What kind of shithead, like, that's what you say to me?
That is so fucked up.
And I'm like, I'm like, and I yell at him, like, genuinely. I'm like, my great-grandpa is dying, and you come home and say that to me right away?
That is.
I'm like, wow. And so he, like, apologized, quote unquote, after. I went to bed and I was crying and, like, I tried to seek him for comfort. He wouldn't give me comfort. And I was like, fuck you, whatever. And so I went to bed and I woke up at 3 a.m. And something felt off. And I look at my phone and I got a text from him and he says, hey, we need to talk. And I was like, oh, hell no.
Oh, no.
Like, if you have something to say, you say it right now. You don't text me, hey, we need to talk.
Oh, my God, the way my anxiety spikes when people text me
I know. So, like, I call him, and I'm like, he's like, hey, I'm at work. And I'm like, I know, but what the hell is this text message? And, you know, he refuses, or I don't know if, like, being a football player back in high school jacked up his memory beyond belief.
Yeah.
But in the phone call, he says, I realized when I came home and I saw you crying, I realized I don't care about you anymore.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You know, and I proceed to hang up. I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
You know, and I call up my mom, and my mom's like, she doesn't answer. And I'm like, you know, maybe she was up late at night. She works hard. So I call my dad, and I'm like crying, and I'm like, where's mom? I need to talk to mom. And he hands the phone over to her. And she's like, and I tell her, I'm like, he broke up with me. And then she's like, I'm so sorry. By the way, great grandpa died 2 hours ago.
Oh, my God.
And so I'm pissed off at this guy for a whole other degree. I didn't even get to grieve my grandfather's death properly.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Because this asshole decided to break up with me the way he did.
Oh, my God. They
Mm-hmm.
I feel like narcissists always love to do, like, shit at the wrong... They do it on purpose.
Yeah.
They do it at the wrong time on purpose because they know it's gonna, like, destroy you.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, their main goal. They're like, oh, how can I make their life worse? How do I sabotage? How do I sabotage them?
This even more.
Even more.
Yeah. And, like, this is also, like, after he went supposedly bowling.
Oh, okay. Was he with his friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
And his supposedly bowling, he's like, I scored a 400. Idiot. You could only score up to 300.
300's the max, friend.
He's like, I don't think so. No.
Anyone knows that.
Anyone
you don't
knows
have
that.
to be an avid bowler to know that 300's the max.
But he was hell bent on, like, and so it was like quick succession bowling.
Yeah.
Crying when he came home, broke up with me.
Was there another girl?
Okay. I knew you were gonna ask that. Okay, so not one. Okay, the first time we were living with my friend and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I found like a thong in our laundry. And I was like,
yeah. I think you've told me this.
And I was like, oh, it might be my friend's. And so I went to her. I'm like, is this your thong? Because I don't wear thongs.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, for sure, it's fine. I'm like, cool. And the next time, we're alone in our apartment. It's just me and him in this situation when he broke up with me too. And I find another thong, and I'm like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
And he was like, but we have communal, like, washer dryers.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, logically, could happen. Why aren't you checking before you throw our laundry into places, though?
Right.
To see if someone else's clothes is still in there.
Yeah.
And when I brought it to him, he was like, it's your thong. No, it's not.
You're like, you should know what I wear.
Exactly. Like, I have worn, like, the same bikini underwear my whole life.
Yeah.
Like, I use the same brand, and I just, update it every couple of years or so. I don't wear thongs.
Yeah.
And so, like, the succession of finding the thong, him going bowling, quote unquote.
And bowling 400.
Bowling 400. He's such a big boy. And then, quick succession, now we're broken up. Like, it was just, like, a series of, like, I can't, like, the reason my mom was so upset for me, too.
Yeah.
She was like, don't ever go back to him. And I would tell her, I'm not going back to him. And I don't think she understood the why, because she was, like, very convinced I would.
Okay.
And my why was the thong.
Yeah.
But also, he broke up with me when my great-grandpa died.
Yeah, that's
hours prior. I'm like, no. I don't care how much I loved you.
Yeah.
Like, I will go through the pain of heartbreak because my great-grandpa, he was my childhood. He was part of my life. He was my family. I loved him so, so dearly. And I was devastated when I found out he was going to die. You took that grief from me.
Yeah.
No. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And so, like, I went years of therapy of, like, oh, me not being demeaned and a humanly matter is not normal.
I feel that.
So, yeah, that's the full story of my narcissistic ex.
Oh, my gosh. Ugh. That is crazy.
I know.
Boys suck.
They do.
Gosh. Okay. Are you ready for
I'm holding on.
how JB and I ended things?
Let's go.
So, to preface, our freshman year of college, we were friends with this girl that was in our friend group.
Okay.
And she was already in a very serious relationship, but I started noticing signs that maybe Jay was kind of starting to have a crush on her.
Okay.
And, like, I'm very much, like, the person, I'm like, okay, if you're in a relationship, you're bound to find other people attractive from time to time. As long as you don't act on it, that's not, like...
cheating.
That's not cheating. I'm like, you can have your teeny little crushes on people. Like, I don't I don't care about that. As long as you don't act on it and you're not, like,
If you turn
actively...
around and come home to you at the end of the day.
Right, and if you're not, like, actively thinking about acting on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, this person seems like they could be my type, but, like, I'm already in a committed relationship, so I'm not gonna do anything, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I pointed that out to him, and I was like, hey, I think you're starting to like her. And he admitted that he was. And he, like, genuinely felt really guilty about it. And, like, he admitted, he was like, yes, I was kind of thinking, I was like, oh, you know, we haven't been together very long. We're in college now. Like, if things don't work out, maybe she could be another option. And I'm like, okay, I get that. We haven't been together. Like, we hadn't even been together for a full year at this point.
That's a
Which
crappy thing to say, though.
It
like,
is crappy,
what the
but, like,
hell?
this is my first experience with a relationship as
Yeah.
well. So in my head, I was like, okay, I get that. But also, like, he wasn't actively doing anything to pursue her. And she was already in a committed relationship. So there was never, like
any danger, it felt like.
It didn't feel like our relationship was necessarily in danger. And when I did talk to him about it, I did tell him, I was like, you know, it's okay. We're probably going to have crushes, quote unquote, on other people. And I'm like, and he was like, I will stop talking to her. I'll cut off all contact. And I was like, well, no, she's also my friend.
Yeah.
So we're not going to just completely cut her off. But I'm like,
be respectful,
I need you.
You know?
Yeah. Be respectful of the fact that you're in a relationship with me and she's in a relationship with this other guy, who she's still engaged to this day. Like, very serious. Like, there was no worry at all that they were going to ever do anything.
Yeah.
So then, flash forward to us being long distance, my sophomore year of college. I was working at the dining hall, and there was this other guy who was a foreign exchange student from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And him and we became really good friends. And I kind of started to notice that I was, like, maybe having a little bit of a crush on him. He was very attractive. He was very nice to me. Pretty sure he was into me at the time, too.
Yeah.
But, like, it was that boundary. It's like, I'm in a relationship. Like, I know he's not physically here, but I'm in a relationship. And I remember texting Jay, just feeling absolutely guilty that I was, like, kind of starting to have feelings for another guy. And I feel like that also should have been my sign. Be like, oh, maybe I should break up because I am genuinely getting feelings for another guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I texted Jay, and I was like, I feel awful. I am starting to have a crush on this other guy. Thinking in my head, we had a similar conversation a year ago.
Yeah, and he
about
should treat you with the same respect that you gave him.
He was so mad at me.
Oh, my God.
We got into this big fight about it. And he actually tried to break up with me at that time. So this is, like, right before our second anniversary.
Uh-huh.
And we almost break up because I admit that I was like, hey, I kind of have a crush on this guy. But I wasn't doing anything. I was just trying to be honest, communicate, because I felt horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And we almost broke up. And so many embarrassing moments to look back on with this relationship. I begged him to not break up with me. And we didn't.
Yeah. You always have that first time.
Yep.
And then the second time is the one.
And I used to be very much that person. I was like, if I'm in a relationship, I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
We can find solutions. Until it's, like, absolutely not working, we will find solutions. So, like, I begged him to not break up with me. We stayed with each other. He ended up buying me a promise ring.
Okay.
In this time frame, which I also kind of had to beg him to buy me, which, I mean, it wasn't necessarily...
I had to do that, too, and I never got one.
I did get one. Like, I kind of, like, sent it to him jokingly, quote unquote. Like, it wasn't really a joke, but, like, it was kind of a joke. And then he did end up buying for me. It was very pretty, and I wore it all the time. So he got me the promise ring. We're like, okay, we're going to make this work. Our relationship's going to be fine. And then fast forward, finals week in May. So that fight happened in, like, January, February.
Uh-huh.
And then we get to May. It's finals week at UNC. I had already been struggling with school. I got really sick my freshman year, and I ended up, like, failing a lot of my classes, and I kind of got depressed. And I was working, like, really hard to get off. Like, I was put on academic probation.
Yeah.
And I was working really hard to get off of it. And I was almost off of it after my second semester of my sophomore year of college. And it was going to be my first semester. And then my second semester, I was passing all my classes. And I was going to officially be off of academic probation after that.
Uh-huh.
And we're texting each other. I had gone to my first college party, like, the weekend before.
Did you drink a lot?
I did. I That's where my party phase began. I don't remember most of the night, but because I was out having fun, I wasn't paying attention to my phone,
Mm-hmm.
right? And keep in mind, he would regularly not text me back. He would regularly
Days.
ignore me. Like, he would go days without texting me.
Mm-hmm.
I put my phone away for one night because I'm out having fun.
Yeah.
I'm out with my friends. Like, something
and you've
that
been stressed out, you know?
Right. And, like, I was being accepted into, like, the dining hall was so incredibly cliquey.
Mm-hmm.
And I was being accepted into
One of us.
this
One of
this
us.
community, right? Like, I was getting accepted into it, and I don't think he liked that I was finding this sense of independence. I was community. I was starting to love myself more, and I was starting to not put up with his bullshit as much.
How dare you?
So
I did that with my ex too.
Right. So a couple days after the party, we get into this big fight, and it's all over text because keep in mind, we're still long distance at this time. And we get into this big fight over text, and he is accusing me of cheating on him. He's like, how do I know you're not at all these parties kissing all these boys? And I'm like, because I'm not. I'm like, even if I, like, first of all, I got drunk once at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only time I'd ever been drunk, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so I did not cheat on you. He brought up the whole crush on the guy from earlier that year, like 3 or 4 months prior. And I was like, I have distanced myself from him. Like, yes, we're still friends, but I don't hang out with him. Like, I put a boundary.
Yeah.
Because
and I'm respectful of
the fact that we are in a relationship. And we're just texting and we're fighting, and I just get so tired. And I finally just text him. I'm like, just say it. I'm like, say what, like, because he's like beating around the bush, right?
Yeah.
He's not just saying I'm gonna break up with you, like we're breaking up. He's like, just keeps prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah.
So I finally text him. I'm like, just say it, because clearly this is over. And
Yeah.
he texts me. He's like, I'm breaking up with you. I'm like, fine, okay, goodbye. And this is all during finals week, right?
Fuck.
Going into finals week, where I'm actively trying to get off of academic probation, and I think he purposely
did it. He timed it at that exact moment.
He was trying. I remember I was talking to my mom about it, and she was pissed that he did it right before finals week, because she also saw through that bullshit. She was like, he was totally trying to, like, ruin your finals week, make you fail your classes. If anything, though, I used it as motivation. I was like, you are not gonna fuck with me like this.
Yeah.
I am not gonna, like, sit in my room and cry all day because we broke up and
you
fail
were too damn
all
hard
of my finals.
to, like,
I was like, no.
no.
As a big, like, fuck you, middle finger up to him, I went and I aced my finals.
Yes.
I got off academic probation.
We need that.
Thank you. And then we're not quite done yet.
Oh no.
He ends up moving back
No.
that summer. And we try the whole, because we're still same friend group. He moves in with the guys again into their apartment.
A little cesspool of self-inflicted.
Right. Well, and this is after our mutual friend died, like Zach died.
Yeah.
And so, like, he moved back to be closer to everyone, to get out of his parents' house, and because we're all friends, so we tried the whole friendship thing, right? And you know, it was working out for the most part, but then he had the audacity to tell me one day, I think I still have feelings for you. And I remember we were texting. Luckily, we were not in the same room. We were texting each other because we actually got into an argument, right? Because I was kind of starting to see another guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think he liked that.
Oh, of course not. No, it's
so
only his world that you're living in.
He texts me and he goes, I think I still have feelings for you. And I'm like, hold on. First of all, you broke up with me.
Yeah.
Second of all, at that point in time, I had already started noticing all of the red flags.
Yeah.
Remembering all of the bad from our relationship. And at this point, I'm like, I'm happier. I'm more independent. I kind of have a stronger slight sense of what, like, maybe I'm looking for. And I'm like, I feel nothing for you. I think that's exactly how I told him. I was like, I don't have any of those feelings for you. And
Not
then we
anymore.
stopped trying to be friends after that. Like, we just,
Yeah.
like, we had the same friend group, so we were around each other, but yeah.
We should have talked, like, this is aftermath. Like, I had aftermath, too, of the
Oh,
same thing.
okay.
So,
Can I add one more thing really
yeah,
fast,
go
though?
for it.
I am pretty convinced that he broke up with me, though, not because he thought I was going around kissing all these other boys,
Because he was.
but because he, I think, was starting to see someone else in Texas.
Mhm.
Because, like, not, like maybe a month and a half after we broke up, we still followed each other on Instagram.
Yeah,
And he ended up posting a picture of him with another girl
of course.
on Instagram. So I'm pretty sure he was projecting and
Mhm.
being like, I'm breaking up with you because I think you're cheating on me, when in reality, I'm pretty sure he was cheating on me.
Mhm.
It was the reverse, but of course he would never admit
No,
to that.
of course not.
And then that also made me laugh when he was like, I think I still have feelings for you. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, you don't.
Oh
so-
my God. Yeah. So, like, AW, like, so we, at that point in our lives, like, at the end of it all in the breakup, we had an apartment together. We had
Yeah.
a collective phone bill together, car insurance together. Like, we had so many things connecting to each other. So it takes some time to unravel all
Yeah.
those connections. So after the majority of them were, like, severed, the last thing was the phone bill.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, pay off your phone. I'm going to get my own phone plan, and that's it. We're done. And so finally, he pays off his phone. I get my own phone plan. I'm like, cool, we're done. This isn't a thing
Yeah.
anymore. And he was like, he tries to call me, and I'm like, what? And he doesn't respond in the phone call. And so I hang up on him. I'm like, I'm not going to wait for you to
Yeah.
build up the courage to talk to me. And he's like, I'm sorry, like, would you give me a second chance? I
Oh my
still
God.
care about you.
Oh my God.
And I flipped out. I was shaking as I
Yeah.
was texting it back. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because you literally, I don't care if you're brain damaged, mine can't remember it. You literally said, word per word, I don't care about you anymore. You can't take that back whether
Oh my
you don't
God.
remember it or not.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't say that. And I'm like, yeah, you did, because it
he
is
was trying to gaslight
ingrained.
you. Yep.
It is ingrained in my memory. You can't take those words back, and you never will.
Oh my God.
And so when he tried to scurry on back,
Yep.
and for years he tried to do that
That's
too.
insane.
Like, he'd be like, he'd try to call me, hey, Ariana, I know you don't want to talk to me right now. I'm just wondering how you are, though, and how your family is. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You
Oh
don't,
my God.
you aren't privy to that information anymore the moment we broke up.
That's
like-
insane.
And, like, the first few weeks after, like, I thought there was a possibility of, like, maybe he'll run back to me. But this guy was so wrapped up in his McDonald's Destiny 2 lifestyle that he couldn't see past his own TV screen.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, you know what? Wipe my hands, we're done.
Yeah.
He has a fiance now,
Oh, that poor thing.
but I'm guessing she is only a fiance because in the Mormon church, you can't cohabitate unless you are engaged to be married.
Yeah. Oh, that's insane.
And she looks like such a sweet bean. I'm like, I would
Aw.
befriend her if she wasn't with
Yeah.
him. Like, that's her, just a picture alone. That's what I think when I look at her.
As
I feel so bad for her.
far as I'm concerned, JB is still single. I don't know. I don't have him on anything. I have friends that are still, like, kind of friends with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a year or two after we broke up, he started dating this other girl who is younger than me. And, like, her and I were friends. So I was like, I like side-eyed her, and I was like, okay, I mean, if you really like him, like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I'm not gonna get in between that.
No.
And they didn't end up being together. Like, she saw all the red flags, like, right away. But it sounds like he was pulling the same exact shit with her.
Oh, yeah.
Like, arguments, he would just shut down, right?
Uh-huh.
Or, like, he would just, like, walk out and, like, wouldn't talk to her. So they ended up, I don't even think they were together for a full year. And then after they broke up, he started sleeping with her best friend.
Oh, God.
And so her and her best friend stopped being friends after that.
Uh-huh.
And then after that whole situationship, I guess, ended, he started dating a girl that was even younger.
Oh no.
We're like, oh, you're just gonna keep going younger because they're more easily controlled.
Yep. This is why grooming is a thing.
Yep. And I saw a picture, like I looked him up. Like I think he maybe popped up in my memories or I looked him up or something a couple months ago. And oh my God, he's so fucking ugly. It's so bad.
Fugly.
It's so gross. And I'm like, I'm so glad I dodged whatever the hell that was.
Right.
And like I look back at him from when we first started dating in like high school and I'm like,
Why?
he wasn't attractive. And like I'll admit, he kind of got attractive a little bit there in college.
Mm-hmm.
I remember looking at him and be like, oh, damn, okay. Well, I can't go back to that because I know what his personality is like, but he is ugly as like a person on the inside. But I looked like he never showered. He always smelled bad. His hair was always greasy.
Is that a narcissism thing too? My
ex
never did do that either.
But like, it was so gross. I think maybe it's also just like it's such a guy thing.
It is a guy
too,
thing.
I feel. But like,
if no one gets anything else out from this podcast, shower every day.
Please, personal hygiene.
Please.
I don't like use different soap for your head than what you use for your body, and use
it's not a
different soap
3-in-1.
face.
It is 1-for-1.
Yes, shampoo, condition, body wash, exfoliate, wash between your butt cheeks. Like, please.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's our narcissistic exes.
Those are our narcissistic exes, and I feel like that helps sets up a lot for what's coming in the future.
Because we're unhinged.
Oh,
roll credits. We're so smart.
So funny.
But thank you guys for listening, and this was super fun. Like I said, me and Miranda have been friends for going on a year now, right?
About a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have so much we still have to talk about and would like to share with you guys. So if you have any topic suggestions, we'll take them into consideration.
Exactly. We've got so many good stories. I mean, good for you guys to hear. Maybe not good for us to have lived.
Rehash out.
But it's, thank you for joining us.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.